We heard the footsteps behind her back. I did not turn around and look. She did not turn around and look. She got up and ran, and she was running so fast. Tiffany had long hair down to her butt, and I can remember as she was running, her hair was flapping in the wind. She was running so fast. And then I dusted her, dude. I dusted her. I ran past her, and I ran all the way back.
Knocked her over.
You know.
Welcome to Creepalachia. We are diving into the paranormal trails today with an explorer of Appalachia in general, but of 9 out of 18, I think is what you told me.
10 out of 18.
10 out of 18, 10
out of 18.
Juventino Diz Garcia. Is that pronounced correctly?
That's right.
All right.
Juventino.
Juvie for short. So thank you for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man. Love to be here.
Yeah, man. So let's get us some backstory about you, how you got into exploring, and you know how you got this awesome Rubicon that I'm very jealous of. When did you start having a love for the outdoors?
Oh man, I'd say it was probably about 10 years ago. It all started fishing and hiking. You know, I didn't do much of it, but a couple friends got me involved, and it just seemed like good therapy to me and good time to reflect on things. So there was a lot of times I went by myself, and hiking, fishing, kayaking, it just became a huge love, not more than a hobby. It actually became a lifestyle for me.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just took one thing to the next level, man. I started posting a lot of it on my social medias, and you know.
Yeah, when did you start that up?
Well, just like I was telling you earlier, a couple friends were just like, you know, Juventino Garcia, 100%. You know, everybody knows I'm Spanish. With the long beard and the outdoors, everybody was just like, man, you look like a Spanish lumberjack. And, you know, at this time, I didn't have a handle for my social media, and it just worked well. And I'm like, you know what? But I'm not a lumberjack, but I have that look, especially with the long beard. Don't have one now, but I usually have one. And I use that as the handle. And I would go out and just, you know, I just figured out, hey, you know what? This would be great to be an outdoor influencer. So a lot of people on my social media, Facebook, TikTok, they're like, man, you influence me so much. You inspire me to go out. You're always doing all this fun stuff. You know, I'm always traveling. I'm always exploring with the Rubicon, with my kayak, you know, on foot. And, you know, if I can inspire people to get out there and enjoy the outdoors, not only for the love of outdoors, the beautiful mountains of West Virginia, Appalachia, you know, there's so much West Virginia can offer. And if I can inspire people to get out there to do the same thing, man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, what better place than West Virginia, in my opinion. So let's talk about that. What is the paranormal trails for someone who doesn't know? And you was mentioning that they're technically offline currently, and then they're going to probably bring them back during the fall.
They're going to bring it back around fall. I think it's early fall, around September.
So it's basically haunted locations,
paranormal hotspots, tourist hotspots. Not all of them are paranormal, but they do have the creepy, spooky vibe, you know, that creep factor. There's a lot of them that totally gave me the heebie-jeebies, which I love. You know, I've done a lot of paranormal investigations in my life, so that's right up my alley. Then when you add the traveling and the exploring, it's just all that together, man, it's like a recipe for, you know, Appalachia love.
Heck yeah. And I've got the website up now that people can see, and which it's not transferring through Okay, let's see if that worked. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so Paranormal Trails. I have the website up. I guess they leave this up year round. It's a fun little website, but basically, 18, correct? 18 locations.
18 locations.
Yeah, and basically, what the state did is they put together a campaign, for people can check in. And then after 10 locations, which you received,
absolutely,
this beanie,
right here. Yeah,
the coveted, Paranormal Trails beanie.
Yes, when I saw this on the website, I was like, "Oh, I'm so doing this."
Yeah,
I'm so doing this. Anything, you get the sticker for you do get the sticker after 3 locations, which is cool, and I have that on the Rubicon. But I wanted the beanie, man. I wanted the beanie, which is the most expensive beanie I own now, because you have to hit 10 locations. That's a lot of driving and exploring, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, congratulations, sir. And I know, only thing I can say is I know who designed the campaign. It's Liz Pavlovic from up north, and she does all the artwork for the Paranormal Trail. And
okay. So
yeah,
there's a couple trails with her artwork in the woods.
Oh yeah,
is the Paul Memorial? What is that?
Paul Klein.
Yeah, Paul Klein Memorial.
Oh, is there really? Yeah, I saw some paintings out there.
I took pictures of those out there, and I think some of her stuff is out there.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I ride bikes out there. Well, cool. So to give everyone a breakdown of what these locations are, we're going to talk about these and also Hoovie's experience. But you got the Mothman Museum, the Alagany Lunatic Asylum,
which is one of my favorites. I love that place.
Oh, it's beautiful.
They have actually Alagany Lunatic Asylum. They have a haunted house there.
Mm-hmm.
They have the flashlight tours. They have the overnight stays. Great spot for paranormal investigations.
Yeah, we're shooting an overnight there in August.
That's nice, man. I'm jealous.
Do like a little video.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll see how it goes.
Lake Shawnee.
Yeah.
Awesome spot. That's actually one of both of those locations I hit. That's part of the 10 that I hit. Alagany and Lake Shawnee.
Did you not go to the Mothman Museum?
I did go to the Mothman Museum. I went to all 3 actually that was on that list. You have the Flatwoods Monster Museum, and then you have the Bigfoot Museum.
Oh,
Bigfoot Museum and the Flatwoods Monsters both located in Sutton. So you can actually visit that town of Sutton, which actually has a lot of cool things about that town.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Elk River Trail, which is nearby, which there is another location on that from this paranormal trail. You can hit 4 locations in one day, which I'd done. So
really?
Yes,
wow,
sir.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And we got the West Virginia Penitentiary. Did you go to Moundsville?
In Moundsville. I didn't go to that. I actually work and drive up there once every 2 weeks, and I drive past this place, and I never had the chance to stop and see it. I can't drive off grid. It's GPSed, and work keeps track of me. But, I'd love to take a paranormal investigation of this place. I know they actually have a haunted house every Halloween there. It's called the Dungeon. Yeah, and it's really good. I've had friends that's gone to that haunted house, so it's pretty top.
You been to the Golden Palace?
Golden Palace.
So in Moundsville, they have the Hare Krishnas built the Golden Palace out in the hills back in the 80s, I want to say.
You done an episode on that?
I done a little video on it.
I've seen that.
I've done a full episode, but it's being edited right now. But I did like a little 90 on like the palace. Dude, it's crazy. It's literally everything's made out of gold. But if you go to Moundsville, check it out. But yeah, we got the Blennerhassett. Shout out Adria Johnson. She's a paranormal expert there. But did you go here?
I didn't go to Blennerhassett.
Yeah, no. It's a fun place and a nice little island. We got Harper's Ferry, which is a tough one to get to up north. But
right. I didn't get to do that one.
They have a ghost tour, a lot of Civil War activity up there. We got Hotel Morgan, which
that Hotel Morgan was definitely on my radar, but I did not get the chance to go to that one.
Yeah, would you believe I haven't heard of this? I haven't heard of this till reading it just now.
Really?
I don't even remember seeing it when I looked at the list before.
Oh man, it's supposed to have some paranormal activity in that place.
Nice. I'll have to put that on the visit list. And you mentioned the Flatwoods Monster Museum, the old hospital on College Hill.
One of my faves. I've met both owners, Tanya Webb and Charlie Hatfield.
I know the name. Yeah.
Charlie Hatfield is the mayor of this town, Williamson. He's the mayor of Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's the mayor. It's either a nearby town, or he's the mayor of Williamson. Charlie Hatfield, really good guy, man. Really good. We sit there and talked for hours.
Oh, that's cool.
Talking about this location, what his plans are. He just recently took it over, him and Tanya. Really cool guy. I told him exactly what I did, haunted house reviewer. I review a lot of haunted houses and stuff and paranormal places like this. And he was glad to have me in that day. And he's always inviting me to come back and visit. I'm definitely going to come back and visit.
How many haunted houses are in West Virginia?
Oh my goodness, man.
There's more than you realize.
Oh, so many, man. So many. The least I've done, actually last year I've done 9. That was the least I've ever done. The most I've done in one season was 22.
Oh, wow.
But that's not all in West Virginia.
Okay.
I'm including like, man, I'll drive all over the US. One year I drove to Georgia and Michigan in 1 year. Mm-hmm. Just one season going to haunted houses.
Do you have one that sticks out?
Oh yeah, the number one in the country. Actually, they fight head and head. You got Erebus, which is in Michigan. They hit number one a lot on like Scare Factor, Trans World, several other companies that do, really well-renowned haunted house reviewers. And then you got Netherworlds, which is in Georgia. Man, they're so good. If I wanted to say Netherworlds was probably my favorite, but it's neck and neck with Erebus.
I'll have to look this up. Netherworlds. I was going to say, there's one. Have you heard of that one that's like in some dude's backyard? And they have, they always have controversy over if it's real or not. I'm going to have to look.
The one that does all the torturing. And
yes.
He just recently got arrested.
Did he get arrested?
Yes.
No way.
This would be a great, a section to do on your podcast.
Is it one of the 13 Appalachian states or no? We sometimes go outside of it, but I try to stay within if I can.
I think, man, it's on the tip of my tongue, man. It's where you have to sign a waiver, and they do choking. They'll waterboard you. They'll stick you in. Oh, what is it called, man?
I'm going to look it up. It's featured on the show Dark Tourism.
So many people ask me this question all the time. Have you gone to this
house? Let me look it up.
But it's not in West Virginia. I think I think this place is in California.
Yeah. It's oh man. Let me Google.
McKinney. Is it McKinney? There it is.
McCamey Manor.
McCamey Manor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That dude just recently got him into a nasty lawsuit, man.
Oh, it says, yeah.
I think the town is finally banning this guy and closing his place down.
Yeah.
Which he has been fighting the authorities for years.
Yeah, I didn't realize he got arrested.
Getting away with this stuff.
Well, he would charge people for like dog food. And then like they just give him food for his dogs, and then that would be the I don't know. That would be the what
and
he would
if you're
charge.
Supposed to complete it, you're supposed to get this crazy amount of money. And from what I can remember, that he's never once paid out that money to anybody.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's even if you get in, he gives people like a test, and then he'll decide if you get in or not, and then it's like a whole thing. But Netherworlds, you said?
Netherworlds.
Is that probably the next level, would you say?
There is no haunted house attraction like Netherworld, man. I am such good friends with local haunted house people, the owners of so many here in West Virginia and Kentucky. The owners all go to Netherworld. Their whole spook crew will get tickets and go as a group, man. It's just like a group thing for haunted house attractions, for haunted house reviewers, the actors, the owners, they all get involved and they go because this is the one to go to, man.
Yeah. And this is in
Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
In Georgia.
That's there's part of Georgia and Appalachia. Ain't there? I can't remember.
The lines are super long, but they moved really fast. I was amazed.
Yeah.
In my reviews, it's like, you got to think, is the line slow? Are there haunt actors in the lines? Line actors.
Right.
That scare you as you get on the property, as you're waiting in line. Entertainment value, special effects. I mean, this has it all. And I didn't have any bad things to say about this. But the one in Michigan, Airbus, is the same way, man.
Mm-hmm.
You have Dent Schoolhouse, which is in Ohio. They're in the top 5 a lot, Dent Schoolhouse. And it's a real legit schoolhouse that they turn into a haunted house attraction. It's right off the main road. It's like 3 or 4 stories tall. It's legit scary, man. I really enjoyed it. If I'm buying hoodies and beanies from an attraction, then I liked it.
Yeah.
So I have merch from all my favorite ones.
Oh, that's great, dude.
Yeah.
When one shut down this year, it's the Barge. Did you ever go to the Barge in
Huntington?
Huntington?
Talking about the one in up there in Huntington.
Yeah.
I went to that one. Yeah, it's the haunted barge. It used to be like a morgue.
Haunted Majestic.
Haunted Majestic. I went to it one year. Wasn't real crazy about it. It was different. It's a barge for one. They had rooms where they kept the dead bodies and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The story is awesome. Did have a very creep factor to it, but the acting could have been much better.
I got you. Unfortunately, they ended up closing. I don't think they're going to open back up.
No,
I was hoping to go there this year, but
they were moving it. From what I was told, they're actually moving it. So, but it's not like being relocated, and they're going to continue to have the attraction.
Mm-hmm.
I think the attraction had to stop because the whole barge had to be moved.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. After the old hospital on College Hill, we got the historic Glen Ferris Inn. I've heard a lot about.
Been there. That was one of the ones I went to.
Shepherd's
in Glen Ferris, right outside of Charleston.
Yeah.
Right off the river, man. It's awesome. 4 presidents stayed there.
Oh, wow.
4 U.S. presidents stayed there. It's got 2 or 3 dining rooms. You can eat there daily, man. You can go there. You can take you and your wife could go there. You could stay, rent a room, eat dinner, walk around. I walked around inside, took pictures and everything, talked to the secretary that was taking reservations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They have pictures of the U.S. presidents that stayed there. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Shepherdstown Mystery Walk.
I don't even remember that being on the list.
Yeah, I don't remember this, but awesome. The Haunted Heyman.
Yes, that's outside of Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
I went to that one. So that's one of the 4 I told you can go to. You can go to the Haunted Heyman House. All right. You could hit Bigfoot Museum, Flatwood Monsters Museum, and then there's a 4th one. I don't want to spoil it for you because when you come across it, man, it's one of my favorite ones out of all these, man. Because it's just right up Spanish Lumberjack's alley, man.
Yeah. Let's see. Flinderation Tunnel. I've heard of this. Salem WV.
Yep. Never. I didn't get to. There's 2 tunnel ones. It's in this app. I didn't get to go to either one. That would have been one I would like.
Yep. Bigfoot Statue.
That's the 4th one. That's the 4th one off the Elk River Trail, which is so close to Bigfoot Museum, Flatwoods Museum, and the Haunted Heyman House. So in one whole day, you can hit 4 locations. That's 4 out of the 10.
Which 4?
That's 4 out of the 10 that you can get if you want to try to get a beanie.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, because you got to think, if you're out there trying to explore West Virginia and hit all these paranormal hotspots, these tourist attractions, That's a lot of time on your hands. That's a lot of gas in today's economy. I mean, it might not be doable for some people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, this statue, I didn't know this was a thing. I mean, this is amazing.
And a high school, Clay County High School students built this thing.
Wow.
Yep.
When did they do this?
I saw the newspaper clipping. It was, wasn't too long ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, yeah, I see. Crafted by students in Clay County. And one of the Bigfoot eye is a camera, which I thought was pretty cool. There's a camera, small camera in the eye that's going to film, I guessing for graffiti, people. It's tearing up the woods or the statue. That was a good idea, Yeah, it says towering 10.5 foot, 1,800 pound Bigfoot sculpture.
Yeah. And it's in the middle of this trail. This trail, Elk River Trail, is 73 miles long.
Oh, wow.
73 miles long. It took me and my girlfriend 3 different times to drive to Sutton. And it's outside of Ivydale and Duck. You got Clendenin and Sutton, which is real close. You got all 4 of those towns really close. It doesn't really say. The GPS coordinates took us. Now, this map has GPS coordinates with each hotspot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. It's the GPS coordinates are not true, man.
Oh, really?
They're not true GPS coordinates. The GPS coordinates, I called the app and I let them know, hey, the GPS coordinates is wrong. It took us right off. It actually had us right off the 7764 interstate. Right like on the side of the interstate where the river is. And we're like, how do you get there? Ain't no statue here. So we had to get off the exit, find Avydale and Duck. And I couldn't find those towns until I got close to Sutton and Clendenin. And then you have to figure out what mile marker this statue is on the trail.
Wow.
So we hiked 2 different times to this trail. Could not find it. The 3rd time, me and my girlfriend took her mountain bikes. I was just like, you know what, man, let's take the tracks out and we could get so much ground coverage this way.
Yeah.
And we rode 5 miles out to find this statue, man. I got pictures, dude. They have a picnic table beside this statue, a large cutout area where people could stop and rest and sit and look at this thing. This thing is enormous, bro.
Yeah, I have to go find this thing. It's pretty cool. Awesome, man. When you got the Bigfoot Museum, which you mentioned in Sutton, and the Silver Run Tunnel, which I just went to in Cairo.
Yeah, man. And dude, when I saw this episode and you and your friend was out here filming this, and I was just like, oh man, what I'd do to be out there with them right now. I would have loved to have been with you guys to see this.
It's a good time, which it's Cairo. People, calm down. I said Cairo in the video, and people were like, no. That is not correct.
They corrected you.
Yeah, but then some people will be like, it's not Cairo, it's Cairo, like the syrup. And I'm like, well, now y'all are fighting. So, I mean, who knows? But it is spelled like Cairo, Egypt, in my defense.
Did you guys see anything or hear anything?
Man, it was weird. We walked all the way through it, and then we would stop, and then Adria would ask questions, and then we would kind of just be quiet and listen. And you'd hear water running and different things. But I swear we did it coming back through, turned the lights out, got in the middle, listened, and I swear it sounded like someone was hollering, like screaming. Now, was it in our head? Most likely, but even still, it was very, very weird. But other than that, I mean, it feels a little thick, but maybe that's because it's kind of a haunted location. But it was really cool, man. I'm actually editing a full episode that's going to be about 18 minutes long about just this.
If you brought a spirit box out there, I guarantee you it would probably talk to you.
See, that's the thing. We're going to start.
Get a spirit box out there. Do an EVP session, play you a tape recorder. And, if you actually would play that thing back, you could probably hear some faint sounds.
Yeah. Do you have gear? Do you have
I used to have, when I worked with Extreme Paranormal, he had, my friend Billy, he had all the the spirit boxes and the lights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you could get a spirit, man, there's apps out there that you could do a spirit box.
Ghost Tube is one that's pretty cool.
Ghost Tube is one.
Yeah.
You could use those. I mean, it's pretty true.
We did a Estes session in Salem. We stayed in the second most haunted Airbnb, according to whatever list, in Salem, Massachusetts. And we did a Estes session, and it was crazy. I made an episode about that, but it was like we were sitting there having a conversation, because one person would ask the questions, and then the one with the headphones wouldn't know what they were saying. And they would be answering questions, but also the Ghost Tube app and the person with the headphones on would be answering each other. And it was weird.
Yeah.
It's probably the most paranormal experience I've ever had. But it was fun. Of course it's fun until you get possessed. But
I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on Silver Run, man,
Yeah.
I would say the best time would be to go out there at night, but then, I would definitely be prepared.
Yeah.
I would definitely want to go out there without my piece or something, man, because, you're going to probably come across some crazies out there too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, there's a lady in white story Adra told when we was out there that, stuff like that. There's actually a cemetery on top of it. And so when you go in the tunnel, Adra brought it up when we was in there, like there's bodies buried above you.
Yes.
So which is very weird.
Yes. Well, which would be also, that's the paranormal activity there. You're going to probably get some unsettling spirits.
Sure. Maybe
some people from that graveyard. I've also heard stories of a train coming through there. It's part of the old, North Bend rail trail. Anything rail, it's the train, and I heard stories you could see a train with the light in the distance, I've read up on that, but
yeah,
that'd be something else to witness yourself.
Yeah, maybe one day. And we got Cryptid Mountain Miniature Golf. That's a fun addition.
Didn't get to do that one.
I got a buddy that went and did it. Let's see. Hempfield Tunnel, Wheeling Heritage Trail.
So there's 3 tunnels in this. I was thinking there was 2.
Yeah. This one looks like it. Yeah, you walk through it. I thought it was a road at first, but yeah, it's a walking tunnel. I'm sure they wouldn't put the Dingus Tunnel on here because I think it's an active road. But that's the last one. All right. So where do we want to start about your trips here? We just walk through whatever you think and kind of talk about what someone can expect when they go to these places.
Well, what was the first one? The Trans-Allegheny?
First one was the Mothman Museum.
Mothman Museum.
So,
that's a good one, because actually you can learn more about Point Pleasant. They have the Mothman Festival, every fall. I go to that every year, man. I love that festival. It's anything and everything cryptids. You got the Chupacabra.
Oh yeah.
Chupacabra. Mm-hmm. How you say it, Chupacabra?
That sounds, dude, I don't know how to pronounce anything.
Yeah, I think people say it several different ways. I butcher it every time I say it.
That sounded great.
There's always someone making fun of me when I try to say it. You got the Flatwoods Monster, you have Bigfoot, and then you have the Mothman. With the museum, you got the famous Mothman statue right there, directly beside the museum.
Yeah, which is really cool. People paint thongs on it. It's a good time.
I just went there the other day. I visit Point Pleasant a lot, man. And someone stuck a $1 bill in his butt crack.
Nice.
Yeah. So I took a picture of that. I thought that was pretty hilarious.
You got to give offerings.
And I can't believe that $1 bill stayed there, considering some homeless guy hadn't came by. Ooh, $1. You know?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Point Pleasant's fun. Village Pizza has the Mothman pizza. Have you ever got that?
No, I haven't.
They put like, I don't know.
Is that in Point Pleasant?
Yeah. Village Pizza, it's called the Mothman pizza, and they essentially make a Mothman out of like black olives and then put 2 big cherry tomatoes as eyeballs.
Right.
It's fun.
The museum is a great place to visit, though. I mean, you get a lot of knickknacks and a lot of tourist things you could buy your friends and family. It's got a lot of literature, a lot of books and pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to get Jeff on the show, which, schedules, it's hard to line things up, but I hope to get them on one day. And we got Tallow, which is Trans-Alagany Lunatic Asylum. So when did you go here?
Multiple times. I went there twice during fall. I went there for this trail. You're not able to check in unless you're there within the GPS coordinates, man. So you can't cheat on this. So even to say that you was there, a month ago, and you're like, oh, I was there a month ago. I'm gonna go ahead and check in. I've been there before. No, that's not gonna work out, man. You'll try to check in, and it'll come up error. Hey, you're not within the GPS coordinates, which is really cool. So West Virginia Tourism already thought about this, which is a good thing about these GPS coordinates. You cannot cheat. You want to visit this place, you got to drive out there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I went there twice, once for the app and the other for their haunted house, their annual haunted house. They do have I think it's called the Witch's Ball.
Mm-hmm.
They have the Witch's Ball every Halloween. It's roughly maybe a week before Halloween or something. I don't know the exact date. They also have flashlight tours, overnight stays, group stays.
Did you do any tours?
The flashlight tour. Now, I've done the flashlight tour in the past, but I have not done any overnight stays. I'd like to do that. This past year, I didn't do a flashlight tour. We just did the haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and visited. When I did the app, me and my girlfriend just went there, walked around on the grounds, took pictures, checked in, there was nothing really going on. Actually, I take that back because we did go around Halloween. So they were having the haunted house. They were doing flashlight tours and haunted house tours.
Yeah. And this place,
but I didn't go to the haunted house until like a week or two later. Then I went back and did the haunted house. I tried to visit John Jordan. I think he's one of the guys that runs the haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I get his name right, John Jordan. I'm friends with him on Facebook. Does a great job on the haunted house part.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. You go in Sutton, and then this structure appears from nowhere, and you're like, "Whoa, this is crazy."
The spook factor is unbelievable with this place, man. It's so huge. I'd imagine it's very similar to Moundsville.
Mm-hmm.
Is why I really want to do an overnight stay or really go inside with Moundsville and get not just the aspect of looking at it from the outside, but from the inside as well. And this building, it looks like a fortress, man.
Oh yeah, they don't build stuff like this anymore.
No,
ever. It's a gorgeous place.
Yeah.
And
it's got a graveyard too.
There's a graveyard, yeah. And then do you know about the Philippine mummies?
No.
So I don't know enough to even tell you about it, but basically there was this mad scientist kind of that was mummifying bodies and trying to figure out the best way to do it. And I'm pretty sure he got the bodies from Trans-Alagany to try and, mummify, like figure out the mummification process. But yeah, there's a whole thing about it. But yeah, I've heard there's a graveyard. I haven't done a tour, but I want to. But we're gonna go in August, and we're gonna do like the Estes method and a bunch of different. There's this website called ghoststop.com, and I'm gonna buy like a massive amount of gear, and we're just gonna go and try to conjure the devil and see what happens.
I'd love to tag around and join you guys when y'all do this sort of thing with my experience and stuff like that, man. I'd love to do this, as a guest person. I'd love to tag along, man, and do something like this.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted. And they said, there's a couple people going, it's like, I'm not going to the women's ward, or, I'm not doing that there. There's a couple of places that are apparently pretty sketchy that I haven't been to.
The hottest spot. Take me to.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, why would you want to experience something like this and not go to the most paranormal spot in the building?
Right.
You know?
I mean, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it. But I guess that's why, because they're real good. The two people I'm bringing, they're real good at the Estes method and real respectful. And I tend to make jokes. So if anyone's getting possessed, it'll probably be me. I hope not. But they're real respectful with it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, Lake Shawnee. I used to drive by this all the time on the way to work, and you just drive by it, and you're like, "That's creepy." You know, you don't even have to go over there necessarily.
No, you could see it from a distance. From what was it? On the way to Princeton.
Yeah, it's right below Princeton.
Yeah, right below Princeton. You could see it from the interstate there.
Did you all go there?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Yep. And we went at nighttime, like after hours.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like climbing the fences there, just trying to look and everything. But I've been to this place multiple times. I went to the Dark Carnival.
What's that?
The Dark Carnival they have every Halloween. That's their version of their haunted house attraction. So they may vamp it up each year, do something different. I'm not sure. I went to it one year. You know, I really wasn't impressed with the actors and the haunt scares and stuff like that. But there's just more. There's more to it than that. You know.
Well, there's a whole massacre here.
It's the history of this place, the creep factor that it gives out at nighttime when you're looking at that huge swing, that carousel swing that they have, and the vines and stuff hanging off of it, and this Ferris wheel. I mean, dude, it's in the moonlight. It's scary, man.
Yeah,
it's scary. Now, I've never witnessed anything there. I've never did any investigations there. They do offer a overnight camping trip there. You could put up a tent out in the field, camp, and do overnight sessions there, man, which I almost done one year. They do it annually, and I don't know if they actually do it more than once in 1 year. I don't know if it's just a specific week each year, but it was pretty pricey, and I think that was the only reason why I didn't do it. And I couldn't get anyone to go with me, you know.
Right.
My girlfriend really don't like the paranormal stuff, man. She'll visit these places with me, but if she knows I'm gonna do overnight stay, do some paranormal investigation, she's like, "I'm out, man.
That's fun.
I'm out."
Yeah, and when you say camping, you have a tent that you have on top of your Jeep.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
How does that work?
It's an overlander tent.
Okay.
So that's what they call overlanders. It's the pop-up tent. Super nice. It's a hard shell. It's insulated. It's got like a water barrier up underneath for moisture and
I was going to
water.
say, do you wake up and your pants are wet?
No, man.
No? That's
this
awesome.
Tent, I paid a fortune for, me and my girlfriend invested in this thing, paid $1,300 for this tent. We went all over the country in this thing. I took and visited 3 national parks in my Jeep Rubicon. We went to the Grand Teton Mountains. We went to Yellowstone and then Glacier National Park.
Oh, wow.
We went to Mount Rushmore.
It'll pay for itself after one vacation.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. We went to, I don't know, have you heard of Devil's Tower? It's in Wyoming. It's like this big volcano that's kind of like growed up out of it's like a volcano that's pushed itself up. And it's a huge towering tower, man. It's a rock solid formation. It's crazy looking. We camped at a KOA right below it. I had the tent popped up. We went to Badlands in South Dakota. So we did a lot of boondocking. Boondocking, if anybody isn't familiar with that, there's you can go to boondocking.com. You can go to there's several websites. It's got boondocking. Boondocking it's camping at your own free will risk and everything. You know, there's no facilities. You're out in the middle of nature, but it's free camping that you can go to. They might find a place. They might have fire rings there, but there is no bathroom facilities. You're going to be where there's grizzlies and stuff. I mean, you know, it's crazy, but it's good for anybody. It's on a budget and looking like, say you're on this trip took us 17 days.
Mm-hmm.
We went 17 days and hit 3 national parks. And, you know, so boondocking, we were like right on the edge of these Badlands canyons. And, you know, I had my coffee. You know, Kim was out there frying some eggs and bacon. I had my coffee, open up the window on top of the Rubicon, and there's the Badlands. You know,
oh, that's cool, man.
Or Grand Teton Mountains, or Glacier Lake, or something at National Glacier, or I'm sorry, Iceberg Lake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, places like that, man. Anybody wants now. They make these things for like Jeep trucks, Forerunners, Toyotas.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just specifically for Jeep Rubicon.
It doesn't dent the roof. How does it work?
No, you got to have a roof rack. You got to have a roof rack. Yes, and this has a telescoping ladder, so it folds up. It's aluminum, and you know I'm a heavy guy. I'm a pretty big guy, so it takes my weight pretty great, man. And telescopes climb up into the tent. You know, that's how you get up in there. And
now, did you use that for any of the paranormal trail places?
No, none of these places.
So
here.
she was like, no,
she like I said, she don't do that sort of thing.
Yeah,
she's a solid believer. Like if you're out there playing with spirits, you can bring home something with you. You know?
To be honest, she's smarter than us. To be honest, like let's just be honest.
There might be a possibility or something like that. You know,
I mean, it only takes once. It only takes one possession to make you regret what you just did. But yeah, I mean, but I'm with you. Well, cool. So Lake Shawnee, highly recommend. And they have an event coming up on the 21st. I think that'll be a few days after this releases, actually, like a couple days. But yeah, I got a lot of good people going there. In Moundsville, you said you hadn't been.
I hadn't been there.
Blennerhassett, Hotel Morgan. You didn't go here?
No, but it was on the radar. It was very close to where I think it was somewhat close to maybe the Haunted Heyman or somewhere. I mean, it was, like I said, it was on my list to do, and I didn't get to go to it. But just because the app is not available right now, I'm still going to hit these places.
Yeah,
you know, because I've already done research on a lot of these places, and that's what I like to do.
Right,
I'm not all outdoors, you know. Like you said, I dabble in haunted houses and paranormal spots, waterfalls. This is a paranormal, West Virginia paranormal trail. So West Virginia Tourism also has a waterfall trail app as well.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, we'll talk about that one too. And tourism, you got to leave this paranormal app up all year. Come on.
Yeah, like, I agree with you, because here we are talking about it. And if some people wants to check into it, you might be able to Google it and find it. But if you get on the West Virginia Tourism website and they give you a link, you can't find this off of Google Play Store or Apple Store or whatever. They give you a link and you get onto that link and you buy. It's like you don't buy, but you do. It's free. And it gives you like a ticket or some kind of link to purchase this app. And the app, it'll ask you, do you want this app saved to your desktop on your phone, your home screen?
Sure.
And it goes onto your home screen, and then you can access that each time you want to go to these places. And the waterfall app is currently available on it, but the paranormal trail is not. But it will be, far as I know, this coming fall.
Fixed it, y'all. Yep. Come on. That's a click of a switch. All right. The old hospital on College Hill. When did you go here?
It was the middle of October. I met the owners, like I was telling you earlier, Tanya Webb, Charlie Hatfield, who is also the mayor.
Did you do a tour here?
I've spoken to several people. It's actually born in this hospital.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That was born in this hospital. This was a very I wish I did the research on it, so I can't tell you when it was active, but for some reason I'm thinking it was like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It might have closed down in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100%
do a quick
sure.
Google.
Yeah.
Let's do that real quick.
I mean, it's
open?
The outside of it looks pretty rough, but the inside of it's kind of well kept, man.
Let's see. The old hospital on College Hill opened on March 3rd, 1928, replacing the original structure destroyed in a 1926 fire. Let's see when it closed. I'm going to take a guess and say the 80s it closed.
1988.
There we go.
Yeah. See, I knew it was in the 80s.
Yeah. I was 3 years old. It says after serving the community for 60 years, the hospital was abandoned and left to deteriorate on the hill overlooking the town it had once cared for. It is now reopened for historical and paranormal tours.
When you drive up to this place, it has a winding hill. It zigzags up the top of this mountain, and you keep seeing this big wall. It's below the hospital. You got the hospital, and then you got like a concrete. Well, it's more like a stone wall, man, and it looks like an old fortress. And the whole time, me and Kim was getting this creep factor, like, oh wow, I was amped up, dude.
Yeah.
Amped up because, anything like Alagany or Moundsville or these old historic buildings. This place is amazing, man, and it can't get any better when you have these new owners, amazing people. It's trying to restore it, restore the history, the glory of it. I'm excited to see new and upcoming things for this hospital.
Yeah, just
check
look at that on
out.
the hill.
See?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Is this going to be shown on the podcast so they can see that right now?
Yeah.
So that's what you're looking at as you're driving. It shows the street down below it. So as you're zigzagging up this mountainside, you can see all these trees and vines just overtaking that building, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now that brown building to the left side of it, that's part of the hospital too. That's like an annex building.
Okay. Yeah. Yellow,
that's part of, that yellow building there is part of that's two separate buildings, but that's part of the hospital.
Gotcha. Man, I tell you, what are we going to do with all this kudzu? It's beautiful, but it also will eat everything on the planet. But it's perfect addition for this type of place.
Yeah, it really
Did you
is,
so when you went in, what's inside this place?
Oh man, it's got like this hallway. I think it was kind of like a tile linoleum looking hallway. Had a lot of glass doors. It looked like I got pictures of it on my Facebook. Yeah, see? Like a linoleum tile floor. There's glass doors. That right there is the main entryway. As soon as you come in through the doors, that's to your left. And when I was there for Halloween, they were having an escape room, haunted house. So what they were doing was charging these people to come in. Instead of like a traditional haunted house, it's an escape, not like an escape room, like an escape scavenger hunt. So there's a list of things to do, and as you're going through this, you're going to get chased by Michael Myers.
Oh, nice.
And Freddy Krueger and stuff like that. Jason Voorhees, and you're walking down these big hallways, and they're not lit up like this, man. They're dark, maybe a green or blue red light or something. They had down this hallway, they had saw, that jigsaw and a wheelchair at the bottom, at the very end of that hallway in front of those glass doors.
Oh, nice.
So when I walked in and saw that, I was like, nope, not going down there. See, check that out. That's what fun. I'm talking about. That's what they had during like Halloween.
Yeah, that's very cool. So they, and I would love to have, if they're listening to this, I'd love to have them on. I think they followed the page, and I've seen them commenting on a few things, but But yeah, Tanya,
Charlie Hatfield,
Charlie, and then Tanya Webb. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, awesome. All right, moving on. Let's see. We got Glen Ferris Inn. It's like a Airbnb, or what is it? Is it like a hotel?
It's an old hotel. Is what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's an old hotel. The dining rooms in it are very nice. See, that's one of the glass dining rooms there. It's on the back side.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Got it.
Yeah, that's and I think they have, if I'm not mistaken, it might be 2 or 3 dining rooms you can eat in. Cool. So you could stay typically any time throughout the year, and if you want to eat, you can eat there. You don't have to go out anywhere else.
Nice. Yeah, it says the Glen Ferris Inn has been around for nearly 200 years. Has served guests since 1839 under the previous names of Stockton Tavern, Stockton Inn, and Hawkins Hotel. Regardless of the name used, travelers have enjoyed good food, hospitality, and some of the most beautiful scenery in the state of West Virginia, and also a few possessions here and there. Now that's not on the website, but yeah. So I wonder what the backstory is here of this place. It says it's haunted by the apparition of the Colonel, a Civil War officer with a long beard, and the historic Glen Ferris Inn provides a unique and memorable experience. It's always the Civil War. That right
there is enough for me to rent a room.
Yeah, sure. I'm in.
You could be. I mean, if you're there with a spirit box in your room, he might be in another location in that place. But if you're dabbling around with a spirit box in a room, you could probably coach that spirit to that room.
Yeah.
They'll let you roam the floors, the hallways.
Yeah.
And I would be quick to do so with, I might freak out some people there, with my spirit box walking down the hallway.
That's part of it.
But, they're not going to say, hey, you can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fun.
I'm sure they're going to love the exposure. They're going to love the business. When I was there, I didn't see a whole lot of people there staying there.
Yeah.
Because this is old. It's history. They do get some local. It seemed like when I was there, I saw a lot of utility trucks there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some people that were staying there, that's working on the power lines or whatever. Some contractors, but like normal travelers, people vacationing, they're going to be staying at, Holiday Inn or something.
Sure.
Not this place.
Yeah.
Unless they're more geared like us, it's crazy about the backstories and the history of these huge, historic buildings.
Oh yeah. Old structures. But they did just open a funeral home in Mullins that has, it was just shut down less than 2 years ago. So it's called the Koffield Manor. I think it's
not the one that's right. Like as you're driving, as you take a right, say if you're coming from Beckley and you take a right into town. I know there's a funeral home there. It's in great shape. It's active. But I thought that was the only funeral home.
Dude, I think that's the one they bought.
Really?
I think it's the one they bought.
Maybe they just recently closed it down and then reopened it.
See, I think so let's look this up.
It's right across from Citizen Bank or something.
Let's talk about this because I'm curious about your opinion on this. So they've gotten a lot of heat from the community, and I think it's a little misguided. Let's see. Koffield Manor.
I have mixed feelings about Mullins anyways,
Oh, listen, I love Mullins, but this place, let's see where's the about section. I'm not sure. So I do know
Koffield Manor.
Yeah, let's look at the website. I want to make sure I tell people correctly. I'm pretty positive that this funeral home definitely has closed down within the past 5 years. We'll say that. I can comfortably say that.
Was it named something else before it closed down? It's reopened up.
Oh, they reopened it as. a haunted location.
Mhm.
So it was an active funeral home, and then it closed, and someone, I think they're from out of state, which is fine, bought the building and then opened it up as a haunted location, which, I mean, it was sitting there and gathering dust and deteriorating. So yeah, but I think the community got a little uneasy about it. Maybe because they were like, maybe they just buried a family member there, or not buried, but like had a service there or stuff like that. Because typically locations are very, very old. So I think that's kind of what's freaking people out a little bit. I don't know, but I don't know the whole story. It seems like a very nice person that's running it. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
It's bringing in tourism and people into the town of Mullins.
I mean, yeah, that's what. So,
and Mullins needs that.
Here's the thing: what are you going to do with it?
Other than just sit there and deteriorate?
I mean, it's not a church. I mean, it's obviously a sacred place that you have a meaningful service and you put people to rest and stuff like that. But like to me, I mean, it's a business making money. This is a business trying to make money, but also still trying to build a little excitement and,
right.
I don't.
And I can imagine all mortuaries, funeral homes, morgues, dude, they're going to be hot spots.
Oh, dude, could you imagine? I mean, there's people sucking guts out of people on a daily basis downstairs.
I actually currently work with a guy that used to be a mortician.
Oh, really?
And he told me some stories, man, that made my hair stand up, man. Like, spine tingling stories, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how he has the stomach for everything that he's told me.
I got a funeral director coming in next week, so I'm very excited to talk to them.
Dude, you know what? I'm going to give you this guy's name. If he's willing to talk to you, man.
I'd love to.
I'm telling you the stories. He's told me he's actually had people. He's had to work on people that's jumped off the New River Gorge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dude, and that's so since you brought it up, that's a thing that not a lot of people realize how many people do that every year. And it's very sad to me. And I understand why they don't talk about it. And listen, nobody, like, if you're having thoughts, we just did an episode on suicide, but 988, give them a call. It's going to be okay. But as far as the bridge goes, there's like an average of like 3 to 5 people a year.
Oh, yeah. I saw an article here just recently on Facebook about that.
Yeah.
About the number of deaths dating back so many years since the bridge was built. And this one particular person that I was just talking about, he was from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So he parked his car. He drove all the way to Chicago, from Chicago, to jump off the New River Gorge Bridge.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's awful. Yeah. And I actually had a guy in here. We didn't talk about this story. We talked about when he saw Bigfoot, but in which, don't you have a?
I do have a Bigfoot.
We're going to get into Squatch in a minute.
And a Mothman story as well.
Okay. Well, heck yeah.
It's not credited, but it's my own experience, and I stand by it.
Hey,
I tell it all the time. I've told it for years because it's an interesting story. It was enough to scare me so bad that one of the Bigfoot location I will not go back to, man.
We're going to get into that. I'm respectfully excited if that makes sense. But yeah, Richie Acevedo, it's called My Interdimensional Bigfoot Experience, if anyone wants to watch it. But he actually saved someone from jumping off the bridge. And we didn't get into that story, but there's an article about him doing that.
Was he part of the, like,
he worked for the Courtesy Patrol.
Yes. Yeah. I've heard about this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy I'm telling you that worked for the guy that I work with, he's been an EMT, a correctional officer, a police officer, and a mortician.
Oh, nice.
He has done all of that. And the stories he's told me, man, are unbelievable. And he told me about this guy that also, I think I read something on this guy too,
Yeah, there's a couple
he
articles.
gets calls all the time, and that was his job, is to patrol that section on both sides of the bridge and the bridge itself to prevent this sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's how often it happens.
Yeah. I think the actual average is like 3 to 5 a year.
That's insane.
It's
man.
so
That is
sad.
crazy.
So sad. And I understand why you don't see news story. Like, you don't want to encourage this stuff, of course. Like, listen, y'all, definitely don't encourage nothing like this. If you're having these thoughts, 988 right now. But it's like the Golden Gate Bridge too. They did a whole documentary about that one.
Yes.
It's like all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just devastating. All right, let's get into something a little more fun. So do you want to do Mothman or do you want to do Squatchy? Which one's first?
Let's do Squatchy.
All right, set it up.
That's the big one, man.
Yeah.
And I actually have I wrote down here the area, and
where's it at? I'll Google.
It's off. Yes, you could do that. It's in James Crest, off James Crest Drive. Okay.
Beckley?
Yes.
Right? Like right.
I'm talking about
Nice.
to be exact, it's off of Asbury Court.
Okay.
Asbury Court.
Asbury Court. Let's do
Yes.
that. All right. So we're gonna put up the Google Maps here.
Asbury Court off of James Crest Drive.
Okay. Let's see what we got. All right. Right here.
Yes. Let's see. What is that? Robert C. Byrd.
Let's see. Asbury Court, and then we got.
That's not no.
Is that
That's
different?
not even James Crest. That's some kind of business there.
Crab Orchard.
Then do this. Do James Crest Drive.
James Crest Drive. Got it.
Okay. All right. And you're going to go all right. So all the way to the top, there's Asbury Court. Go to the opposite direction, to your left. Yep.
Okay.
All right. See that street with the dead end?
Oh, yeah,
the brown
got it.
house?
All right.
Yes,
we're there.
Right there. Okay. Do I need to stand? Actually, go to your right in the middle of these woods, go down. See that section right there in the woods? It's all open right there. Those are telephone lines.
These right here?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
It used to be. Now, this story took place in 1995, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
It was either 94 or 95. I was in high school. And that clearing was it was a lot more cleared out, man. It was wider.
Mm-hmm.
You could see the lines, the telephone lines that were prominent. It's all growed in now. And it's roughly to the right there in the middle of the woods there. Say, further back, I would pan out, zoom out. All right, right where your mouse is there, not there in that clearing, around in that area.
Got it.
Maybe to the right a little bit more. See that open area there? It's kind of like a gray spot. It's around in there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is like what, 95? That's like 30 years ago.
Right.
So you can imagine Asbury Court. There was no houses on Asbury Court then. It was just a gravel road, man. It came to a clearing. So we drove out there. You go out there now, you're going to be parking in front of somebody's house.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a good friend there. We were high school buddies. Her name was Tiffany, and she lived in James Crest. She calls me up and was like, hey, let's go hiking, And she was like, I know where there's a Civil War bunker. All right. And this is an old concrete bunker. She took me out there roughly in this area, dude. In those woods, that bunker's still probably there.
Mm.
There's also an Indian burial ground, unmarked graves, man. No names. You'll just see headstones. Tons of them. Overgrown, fallen over. And then not too far away, you have that Civil War bunker. So we're hiking in these woods. And I would just remember, I was astonished of this Civil War bunker. It was below ground. The top of it was caved in. It was all concrete. Had the little window where they're going to sit there and shoot out of.
Mm-hmm. It's still there now?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. And the reason for is because the story took a huge turn, and it scared the bejesus out of me, dude. Never been so scared in my life. So as we were walking this trail, we hear what to me sounded like a Bigfoot call. If you ever watch Finding Bigfoot, you know, what's his name? But is it Bubba?
Oh yeah, we got Miranda Mayer. She's on Expedition Bigfoot though.
Yeah, Bubbles, not Bubbles, Bubba. Who is the big guy he always used his height and scale as a small Bigfoot?
Bobo.
Okay. So Bobo could do that typical Bigfoot call.
Right.
You know, and it sounded like a Bigfoot call, which also kind of resembled, from what I was told, maybe like a mountain lion call, or maybe something that's mating out in the woods. Like if you ever heard cats mate, it sounds like a baby cry. It sounded similar to that, or a wildcat, like a bobcat, but it was long and deeper, like a Bigfoot call. I looked at Tiffany, and we're in the middle of the woods. The Indian the burial site to our left. In front of us, you got the Civil War bunker, which is all, you know, if you can remember, if you hear stories and by experience, Bigfoot or Mothman is always, sightings are always around paranormal activity or hot spots. So here you got a burial ground, you got Civil War bunkers. You know, who's to say Civil War soldiers weren't shot and killed there?
Yeah.
And then you hear a Bigfoot call, and I looked at Tiffany and I'm like, that sounded like Bigfoot. And she's like, shut up, there's no Bigfoot. And I'm like, and we're listening to it, and it's over and over, real long, 3 or 4 times, and then it'll stop and restart again. And we're just stopping. We just stopped in our tracks, and we're listening. And I look at her and I'm like, that sounds like Bigfoot. What if that is Bigfoot? You know? And then she's starting to look serious, kind of like pale in the face, you know? And I'm like, I'm on edge right now. You know, the hair is standing on the back of my neck. And I kid you not, JD, that we hear loud thumping noises. And if you ever watch Harry and the Hendersons from the 80s and Bigfoot, you got Harry like walking, you hear that thump, thump, thump. That's what we heard, man. Vibration, 400 or 500, something 400 or 500 pounds, it was bipedal, dude. Not 4 legs. It was like a humanoid walking towards us. And me and her looked at each other, and I'm sure I turned just as white as she did, and we turned around and ran, dude.
Oh, wow.
We ran all the way outside of this trail. All right. So if you were to say that little brown area there, right there, and you go to your left to that clearing, there's a trail there you're not going to see, because you know, that clearing there, that little trail there, it's with power lines. We ran all the way to that. All right. Now you're looking GPS map, Google Maps. So this trail is going to be a lot longer. So as you zoom in, you know, it's going to be a long. So we probably ran, I would say, a quarter mile or something without stopping. Because we heard those steps. First, here I am saying, that sounded like Bigfoot call, over and over. And it sounded like way down the ravine there where that huge clearing is. So if we heard it like from that area, and we're in the middle of the woods further up north, and then when I said it sounded like Bigfoot, it sounded like he just covered a lot of ground to get close to us. So it was enough to freak us out and run. So when we ran to that clearing, we both stopped to gain our breath. And we sat down on the ground at the end of that trail, right there where those power lines are. And we didn't say anything to each other. We're just sitting there gasping for air, you know. And I looked at her and she looks at me, and I can't remember if anything was said, but literally 30 seconds, we hear those footsteps, but it wasn't steady and slow. It was fast, dude. It was like, do, 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 like it was running. Like when Harry takes a run, like in the movie, and you could hear those fast steps. And I felt the vibration, dude. I kid you not, man. I swear on my grave. We both felt the vibration of the ground and loud, and it was quick, like it was right behind us. We're both sitting facing the power lines with the trail to our back. We heard the footsteps behind her back. I did not turn around and look. She did not turn around and look. She got up and ran, and she was running so fast. Tiffany had long hair down to her butt, and I can remember as she was running, her hair was flapping in the wind. She was running so fast. And then I dusted her, dude. I ran past her, and I ran all the way back.
Knocked her over.
And we ran all the way to the beginning of James Crest there, Asbury Court, right there. We went all the way, dude. That's a lot of running right there.
Oh, yeah.
To the end of there. And it was all gravel back in 94, 95, dude. And so I would love to go back to this, but I wouldn't go by myself, man. I would go with some other people. And the only thing I could think of is that we would have, we'd have to go somewhere to where we could park our vehicles, and explain what we're doing.
If you are in Asbury Court, reach out to Spanish Lumberjack to use your parking lot. We can roll out here and see what we can find.
Investigate. Can you imagine if we saw that Civil War bunker again and those,
Man, that'd be cool. I'd like to just know where that is. That's crazy.
Yeah, it would be there to the right. I'm pretty sure of it, there in those woods. Look how much woods are right there, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, that housing development right there looks like it's part of James Crest as well. It's a new development that looks like it's part of James Crest.
Yeah.
It is.
We used to trick or treat in James Crest. I bet we walked near this place. I can't remember, but yeah, it's a beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
But man, that's cool. Awesome.
Yeah, that's something to think about future.
Yeah. Have you heard of the Sierra Sounds?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So you was talking about what Bigfoot sounds like. This is like a super famous Bigfoot tape that is all audio. And it's these guys, they have this place, and they never did release where this place, it's like a secret place they go and camp all the time. And I think it was in the 70s. Yeah, it was in the 70s. They started hearing these sounds, and they brought a recorder up with them to get the sounds, and they still today, like, people take guesses on where it's at.
Can we play?
But yeah, we'll play it here.
We're in for a night, Bill.
Oh, that's tree knocking.
So you'll hear me here in a minute.
Sounds ape-like.
Yeah, but then you'll hear them start doing it back. It makes me laugh, but they'll do it back to them here in a minute.
Who's trying to talk to this?
See, they this has it's been,
what I heard was significantly different than that. It was more geared towards what Bobo does.
Right.
It's more like, oh, something like that, but deeper. more scarier, you know?
Yeah, this has always been debated on if it's true or not. I think they're doing it. I think there's a bunch of guys out there and they were over there making noises, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I hate to tell people that.
But I do hear I do hear Sasquatch and Bigfoot do communicate or through tree knocking with, banging branches or big logs against other trees, or sometimes using rocks against trees.
Oh, have you seen Bigfoot structures?
Bobo speaks of it quite a bit, man.
Bigfoot structures blow my mind. And what Bigfoot structures are basically big structures in the woods that seem a little more difficult to put together than a typical person could do.
Yes. Like big trees.
Yeah,
really big trees.
Big trees kind of put together in a like a domicile house type way.
Like a teepee kind of like.
Yeah, kind of, but like, a lot of them. Like, because I mean, a lot of these trees, some of these, the biggest person alive could pick up. Yeah, this back here, that's a huge log.
That's a tree right there. So, I mean, some of that stuff, that would take a huge individual to even toss up there on the very top.
Yeah. So I always find that interesting. There's all kinds of these out in the woods, and I'm sure some of them are, man-made, but some of them are look pretty difficult to make.
I wanted to send you something before we had our section tonight. I got maybe a 9 or 13-minute video of me and a friend out in the ATV side by side stumble across an abandoned homeless compound, and he's got a tent. He's got like some kind of structure he built. He's got years and years of stuff. Who's to say if it's one individual or what? It looked like a homeless community abandoned here, very close to James Crest, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Just out in the woods?
Out in the woods, man. And you know what I thought? I thought maybe it could have been where JD, what is his name? The guy that was missing for a long time.
Oh, you talking about AJ?
AJ.
Okay, yeah,
AJ.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy Brian was talking about that and was like, hey, wonder if AJ.
Actually, they found him.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
They found him. He was... It's a homicide,
dude. This was legit abandoned, and he left everything.
Wow,
boots, blankets, the tent. There's sleeping bags.
Yeah,
there's years of stuff. This is so well made, and there's sections along the creek. There's places where he would. I guess there's fire pits. There's places where he cooked. He had maybe an old nasty grill, had a TV, had antennas. He was collecting garbage and just whatever,
Wow.
But it looked like something happened. And I wanted to turn this into the authorities, because what if somebody's missing and they could fingerprint this material, this sleeping bag, maybe hair fibers or something that's in this tent. So much is in this tent, dude. And what if the guy or her starved? Maybe it's like Lord of the Flies thing. Someone was fighting for dominance. Maybe somebody's body's over there by the creek. There could be several issues, dude. And I filmed this, and it's in the middle of in these woods, dude. And it's very creepy, man. I was going to send it to you. I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, man. I'd like to check it out.
I wanted to post it on my TikTok. And I also want to post it. And I was thinking about posting it on Sleazy.
Yeah.
See what people think. Maybe somebody can get an idea what's going on here or what happened.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And I'd say there's a lot of transient population coming through that it's hard to tell how much is in the hills. You know what I mean? I don't know where I'd stay, to be honest. I mean, kind of good on them for being able to be
dude, this,
the self-care there.
dude, this whoever these, how many they were, I don't know, but
So
they
is it
actually-
several?
dude, they made like a makeshift fence out of twigs
Mhm.
to camouflage the compound.
Oh yeah. See, I've heard a lot of that too.
You could not see it from the trail. We
Yeah.
just kind of like I was like, is that what grabbed my attention? There was a pallet that was used for a fence, like gate entryway.
Oh wow.
Like somebody wanted to use it as their front yard to enter the compound.
Yeah.
And then it was all twigs and branches and stuff to cover the rest. A lot of detail, a lot of time, but everything was left abandoned, which makes me think they left either in a hurry or something happened to them.
Wow. Yeah, it's hard to tell, man. Yeah, I'd love to watch it.
Yeah.
Do you go to the Appalachian? Do you hike the Appalachian Trail at all?
No, I haven't.
Not
done
really?
that Appalachian Trail.
I was just thinking
that's
about.
on my to-do list, though.
Yeah.
That's the trail that goes through like 6 or 7 states all the
Oh,
way
yeah,
up
it's about-
to Maine or something, right?
Man, I think it's like
more
I want to
than
say
that.
3,000 miles. Hang on, let me see. How
It
long
starts in
is the
what, South Carolina, I think.
Trail? It's 2,190 miles. As of this was as of 2021. Passing through
Georgia to
14
Maine.
states, stretching from Georgia to Maine.
Oh, I was way off. I said like 7 states.
Yeah, there's been
14 that's double the states.
Now, there's been a few go missing here, but it's still a very small percentage of getting murdered on the Appalachian Trail. It's very, very small.
Hmm.
But people have, for sure.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that where they have like different drop offs for water and different things. I'm sure there's a lot of people camping out on the Appalachian Trail. But well, cool. All right. So you was telling me about Mothman. What was
Mothman.
Yeah.
Yes. We're going to have to Google. I got the location for that as well, dude. And that's
Perfect.
within Beckley as well, man, in Stanford area. And it wasn't just me and one person. This time it was me and 5 others. I have 5 other witnesses on this. And it's at the Stanford Cemetery. Are you
Stanford
familiar with
Cemetery.
that?
No.
Stanford Cemetery.
Always
off
love a good
Stanford Road.
cemetery.
Yes. I've done multiple paranormal investigations at this cemetery, dude. I've never witnessed anything with my eyes other than this Mothman story I'm about to tell you. But during my EVP sessions in the middle of the cemetery, I've heard some crazy things. I heard something that ran and jumped over the fence. It sounded like it ran right into the fence instead of jumping over it. And it was enough to startle me to where I went back to the Jeep and grabbed my pistol.
Yeah.
You
Is this it?
That is it.
All right,
That's
cool.
the cemetery.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
We're there.
Now, so this is right off of Stanford Road. There's a gravel road access to this cemetery. It's a well-kept cemetery too, man.
Yeah, it looks real pretty.
Yeah, it's a nice little area. There are some old graves out there that I've walked around and looked at the dates and stuff like that, like anybody would typically do, just to, if you're going to do any kind of investigation, to see how old it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right across from the cemetery, there's wooded area. We were parked right at the main entry fence. This is late at night. I would want to say about 11:30 at night. Me and 5 other good friends of mine. And we would come to this area, dude, really just to drink. We wouldn't litter.
Mhm.
We wouldn't litter. It's just a hangout spot. It typically lasted maybe a couple years. We've done this for a couple years. I mean, you get bored. And we went out there just to hang out, talk, laugh, have a decent time, have some beers, and then we typically go home.
Mhm.
So as we were standing outside of our vehicles, and I don't know, does it have anywhere you can pan around,
Let's see
maybe
here.
see the gravel road?
Let's look and see.
Is that the cemetery right there?
Yes.
It is. Okay. So that circle, you got not that circle right there, that end. The other end right there. Okay. So we're parked right there under those trees. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a fence there. There's a gate. It's typically closed there. The other end is open, but we parked our vehicles right there. Those woods to the right. And I would say roughly right there. Yeah. We're kind of like right there where that hole is, that black hole there.
Mm-hmm.
We're standing right there at that fence area around our vehicles, drinking beer, talking. And in the trees, we hear something that sounded like a pterodactyl, dude. Large, and it yelled out a large, like that. And it jumped out of the tree. And when it jumped out, it broke several big branches. An eagle, a falcon, a buzzard wouldn't do that. A vulture, it's not big enough to break branches, dude. Not the branches that came down.
Yeah.
You could see these branches come down when it jumped out of the tree branches. It startled all 6 of us, man. And we all looked up to that area and you could see the branches fall to the ground.
Mm.
And what we saw was something that was big. I'm going to describe it more like one of those big African bats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those bats, it's really hairy, huge leathery wingspan.
Mm-hmm. Let's look one up here. Large. Oh, Lord.
That's small. There you go. See how big that thing is?
Yeah.
All right. This was bigger than that and looked very similar to that, dude, in West Virginia.
Dude, what
in
is this?
Stanford. That's an African, big, nasty looking hairy bat.
It looks like a flying donkey.
Isn't that weird, dude?
That's crazy.
Look at the wingspan on that. There's pictures of it. Its wingspan are huge. Huge, dude.
One. Look at this thing. Let's see. That's this one's kind of a wingspan here, a little smaller, but
yeah,
kind of cute. I'd pet that. Yeah, it looks kind of like a flying sphinx cat.
So this thing jumped out. Its legs were much longer than that, dude. Longer and dangling. And it flew right above us. And I'm talking about, see that size there? This thing had to been like that other picture we were just looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 3 times bigger than that. Maybe twice.
Yeah.
If you want to go back to that one right there. That's pretty big, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty large.
That's pretty big. All right. I would say it was probably twice that size.
Wow.
Yep. Flying out of the branch, big enough to break these branches because it's pushing its body out of the tree to get that lift to fly out. And when it flowed over us, I was the only one that was like, look, Mothman. You know, I mean, I'm a cryptid fanatic.
Right.
You know, at this, the Bigfoot story, that was in 95.
Mm-hmm.
This was in 2018, man. This is not too long ago, dude.
No?
Not too long ago.
Yeah.
That's 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and everybody was sitting there kind of like laughing, but there was kind of quiet too, because we didn't know what we were looking at. But I was the one that yelled out Mothman, and there's 1 or 2 people who just started laughing, thought that was hilarious. But I'm like, what was that? Really? What was that?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see that? And it was almost a full moon that night. It wasn't quite a full moon, but the moon was bright enough it lit up the graveyard, and you could see him fly off in the distance. Dude, it was so huge. It sounded like a pterodactyl. Buzzards, I don't know if buzzards or vultures make noises, but this thing was 3 times the size of a buzzard or a vulture. It made a god-awful noise. It broke branches. It flew off.
No red eyes?
We didn't get to see, because it was so high up.
Right.
All I could see was the legs, leathery skin. The wings looked leathery like that. And that don't have no hair on it. This one had hair, dude.
Dude, That'd be
And
insane.
I've gone back multiple times.
Yeah.
I actually went back the other night just so I could actually
I
get
have to
the
look
name.
into this cemetery.
I
man.
went to get the name of the cemetery just so I could tell you this
Oh,
story.
sweet. Yeah.
Stanford Cemetery.
I might have to check
It's
that out.
off Stanford Drive, right close to.
Do they still do burials or is it like closed off?
That they may have. I don't know, dude. They have posted signs. There's no. I mean, there is no. If I'm pretty sure, no loitering or hanging out there. Or
I wonder why
something.
this
But was
Mary
late at
Dalton
night.
Dalton one is.
We would never deface any kind of tombstone or the cemetery grounds. We wouldn't vandalize or litter. We took everything we did with respect.
Well,
we were just looking for an area to hang out, and what good place to hang out other than creepy cemeteries.
Yeah, they may need company. They need company too. You know what I mean? It's like people are kind of indifferent about jokes at a cemetery, and I'm like, well, they laugh too.
I have multiple EVP sessions saved and recorded, voice recordings of me and some of my friends doing, EVP sessions, asking if there's any spirits here. Would you like to talk to us? Can you make yourself known?
Yeah.
We've never seen anything. The one night I heard something crash into that fence, I was by myself. I think I might have been I was Snapchatting then. I don't have Snapchat now, but.
Is it still a thing?
Snapchat?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it
Okay.
is.
Yeah, maybe. I've never done it.
Have you never?
Never done it, man.
Me and Kim got together, I quit Snapchatting, but I tend to go live on TikTok and Instagram.
Nice.
So, I got a nice GoPro, so I'm going to start trying to get on and do more of that. I'm just so tied up with work and all the other, hobbies, lifestyle that I'm in. I don't have time. I need a crew like you, dude.
Yeah,
you have a crew, so that's what I need.
I pay him in cheeseburgers. So I guess last question. What are give people some tips. Like, I'm curious of your process with just driving out with the Jeep. Like, when you find somewhere you want to stay, what do? Do you just literally just pop this thing up on the top, throw a sleeping bag up there? Or like, what kind of gear?
You definitely want to plan, man. I've learned the hard way by not planning. And I actually have multiple friends that's done Glacier National Park. And I've done research now after I took the trip. And they're like, for something like that, it takes a lot of planning, man. A lot of money. I mean, that's a lot of traveling, dude. Mm-hmm. If you're going to drive and you have a camper or a tow behind or an overlander like mine, you're going to want to take all the provisions, dude. Plenty of water. If you're going to do boondocking, then you're not going to have bathroom facilities. You're not going to have a place to go and use the restroom.
What do you do?
Or something.
Dig a hole?
I'm going to give my girlfriend full credit here. She went to Walmart and bought a portable toilet. It's like, what's the Walmart brand? What's that?
Great Value?
No. Their camping brand. It's...
We're going to find this.
Oh, it's not Crossman. It's Trail.
Ozark Trail?
Ozark Trail.
Boom.
Yeah. They have a portable toilet. It's plastic, folds up, and it comes with little black trash bags. You line it.
No way.
And yes, dude, I'm telling you.
Does it work good?
There's got to be an Ozark Trail one, man. It's sold by Walmart. Walmart portable toilet. That's not the ones that I bought. There you go, brother. That first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got it for the Small
That's
feet.
if I want to give anybody advice of going out camping, especially women here, the ones that are afraid to get dirty or whatever. Like Kim was like, I'm not taking a dump out in the woods.
I mean, yeah.
That's what I told her to do. I'm not taking what am I going to wipe my butt with, Joe?
Right.
This thing is so easy, dude. And then all you do is it takes trash bag, it comes with these little portable black bags. Yeah. And you sit on this thing. And all right, so she don't want people to see her sit on this thing. So what does she do? There's like a tent, it's a full open air. It covers everything.
Right.
And it's got a button front. So it's like a canopy tent, but it's not a tent. And you can you could stand in there or sit in there, set this toilet up, button the front. It's like 3 or 4 buttons and do your thing.
Nice.
And nobody sees you.
That's incredible.
Yes. So we had that.
Okay.
And of course, we had our portable grill. You want to take your propane and your portable grill and firewood. And, there's Walmart also has the option where there's a bag, like a 5-gallon bag you can hang from a tree, fill it up with water. So you could use that when you brush your teeth. You could wash your mouth out, or you can wash dishes, your little dishes or something. If you want to cook or whatever, you're going to need water source.
Yeah.
So when you're boondocking out in the middle of nowhere, 5-gallon
camping bag.
Let's
call it that.
There you go. Right
thing?
there. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Kind of like this.
That's fancier. Yep.
Okay.
But that's from Amazon, but we bought ours from Walmart. There is so many things that you could fill that up. And this one right here, don't look like you can hang that. This could be hung from a tree branch or something.
Gotcha. This thing? No, it's litter.
No.
I get the concept.
Yes.
Though, but
yes.
Yeah.
But that portable toilet is awesome, though, man. For anybody who wants to be out there in the middle of the woods.
That's
but
great.
You got a plan. See, we didn't think about this stuff.
Sure.
So when we decided to drive all across country to Yellowstone or Glacier National Park, we're like, oh crap, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. There's no bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't think about that. I knew I had to piss, but any guy can piss out in the woods. But
yeah, it's pretty easy.
Man, I don't want to take a dump out in the woods.
Right. Yeah.
We took a bunch of baby wipes.
That's a whole new level. It's like, whoa,
you
got to
be comfortable. Yeah, you're exposed. But even though there's nobody, even though you're around nobody,
right?
I mean, you got Mr. Grizzly over here, or you got mountain lions. There's some serious wildlife out there. Not in West Virginia. You got black bears here, but over there you got mountain lions and grizzlies you got to worry about.
Yeah, it's like I used to drive a rock truck, and then I'd go under the truck. You'd back up to a hillside, and you go under the truck, do your thing, cover it up like a cat, get back in,
yeah.
drive. Yeah,
we took our kayak, we took our mountain bikes. We had that Rubicon packed to the gills, dude.
That's awesome.
And we had our tent up top. Now, I do have multiple ground tents, but we've kind of retired those because why would you use those when you got a $1,300 tent on top of your vehicle?
Sure, yeah.
This thing is nice, dude. It's got LED lights. It's got a USB hookup.
Heck yeah.
It's got a place where you can hang like a small disc player or a TV screen. Say you have an iPad or something, you want to watch movies. It's got a clear like a clear pocket where you can lay it on the roof and sit there and lay and watch movies. So we were at the Badlands, overlooking the cliffs and stuff with a full setup, drinking our coffee, watching a movie on the top of our Rubicon.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I love it. And
Spanish Lumberjack.
that's going to be
style.
my sale. I'm going to tell Jenna we're buying a Rubicon and we're going to get this tent that goes on it, which I got a F-150. I bet they have some.
Absolutely. They
Surely.
have the ones, but in order to use it, you got to get a bed rack. So we had to order a roof rack to put that Overlander tent on top. It will not fit on top of your vehicle without a roof rack. You got to have a roof rack. So roof rack comes first, or a bed rack.
Gotcha.
For a truck.
Check.
You know, you see those Jeep, what's those Jeep trucks called? Gladiators.
Yeah.
So the Gladiators, you see a lot of Gladiators now. It's got those tents on the back, but it's rested up on a bed rack. You'll see it's a roof rack for the beds, and they come. I mean, you can buy them for Toyotas, Dodges, whatever.
That's awesome, man. So tell people where they can find you on social media. Do you post pretty regularly? I've noticed a lot of really
I do. TikTok, it's all my social medias is under Spanish Lumberjack. If you get on TikTok, search Spanish Lumberjack, it'll pop up. My website. I mean, I don't have 30,000 followers like you, but I have 7,000 followers or whatever.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome.
And it's mostly outdoor influencing. I do a lot of fitness influencing too, but it's just really my personal workout videos or something like that. But it's mostly like fishing, fishing, kayaking, hiking, a lot of traveling. I'll do haunted house reviews on it on Facebook. I got most of my videos broke up by albums. So,
nice.
Yeah, like the waterfalls. We didn't go across that. The West Virginia Tourism Waterfall Trail.
Yeah.
So I have. They have that app, and let me see here. I think I wrote it down.
How many waterfalls are in West Virginia?
43 waterfalls.
Wow.
Off this waterfall trail. Right there. It's that blue one, I think.
Yep. Got it.
Waterfall trail.
Got it. Well, this is beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing.
Yes. So you could check into these places, and it's the same concept. So I've logged in 22 waterfalls.
Oh, wow.
Out in West Virginia. I've logged in over 50 waterfalls all over the U.S., including ones like Niagara Falls. I've been to Niagara Falls, Ruby Falls in Kentucky or Tennessee. It's like an underground cave waterfall, man. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I got videos of it. Moose Falls in Yellowstone. Cascade Falls. Have you been to that one? That's in Virginia. It's
I've
real
heard
close
of it.
here. Beautiful waterfall, man. It's one of my most favorite waterfalls. It's Cascade Waterfalls, Blackwater Falls, which is in West Virginia.
Beautiful place.
That's a good one. You got Cathedral Falls, which is in Golly Bridge.
That one's it just pops up and you're like, whoa,
yes.
Look at
that sticker right there. You get 3, you check in, you get 3, you get the tumbler right there. Check in at 20 locations. Look at here, guys. Let me move this microphone here.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. Oh, nice. You got the t-shirt. Heck yeah, dude.
T-shirt. Look, you got the paranormal trail. I'm telling you, man, I explore.
Dude, that's awesome.
I do it all, brother.
So you're working to get after you check in all of them, you receive a limited edition letterpress print. Is that, I wonder if that's from Base Camp. Yep. Base Camp. From Base Camp Printing. That's awesome.
So.
How cool.
Yep. And like I said, I've logged into 22 off of that app.
Heck yeah.
So you'll see that a lot on my social media. I have it under a waterfall app or a waterfall album. My haunted house reviews, I could tell you every fall, Halloween, I have, no exaggeration, at least 20 or 30 some people reaching out to me on Messenger. Hey, Joe, which haunted houses are the best this year? Which ones should I go to?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I could give some shout outs right now. You got Fear on the Farm, which is it's in St. Albans, in St. Albans, Charleston area.
Yeah.
My buddy Lee Jordan, he runs that. He does a lot of wrestling stuff. He has a dance studio, and he invests. He goes to these Trans World shows all the time. Fright Nights.
Yeah.
My buddy John.
I had them in.
Fright Nights. Okay. So my buddy
John Christian.
Mm-hmm. So John Christian does a lot of that.
And Ashley.
You know, and I have a list of what I'd done last year, and I rated just last year. Fright Nights I gave him my number 2 spot.
Oh, nice. Yeah, man.
Out of 9 haunted houses I went to, you have 12 Pole Manor, which is in Wayne, West Virginia.
Oh, I heard of that one. Yeah.
You heard of that one?
Yeah.
Really good. Those guys are awesome there. I know the owners there really well. You know,
Who's your number one?
Number 1 was Haunophobia at Blackberry Creek. It's in Kentucky.
Oh, really?
Yep. The owners there, awesome people, man. They take care of me all the time. They let me do a video walkthrough.
Oh, cool.
One time. You know, they'll hook me up with some merch. A lot of these people will hook me up with some merch or let me get a fast pass or whatever. I give them great reviews, man. I visit them every year.
Yeah.
There's so many people reaches out to me for this sort of thing. And last year, it was my intention to start my own haunted house review page on Facebook. It's still in the works. I'm still working for a name. That's the only thing I need. I got all the videos, the pictures, the materials, the destinations. I work on it early. I say early summer. I'll come up with a schedule every year. I put in for time off from work so I can make it to these locations. And then I'm always picking 1 or 2 that I haven't been to. Every season, I'll go to a different haunted house I haven't been.
That's awesome.
That way, I'm trying to get my name out there, you know, and, you know, build new friendships, relationships with the haunt industry, the haunt owners. Man, it's not a hobby, it's a passion.
Yeah. That's me and Adra, we're planning on trying to hit some haunted houses, do a few videos this year. So I know Fright Nights is one that's on the list. We're going to make it out there.
So good. Dude.
Have you been to Miller's?
So good. Miller's Nightmare.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah. It looks really
I
cool.
could give you a breakdown. Now, the 9 I went just last year. Now, I'll tell you, 22 was the most I did in one season.
Oh, yeah.
That was a very, very busy season for me. And like I said, I'll hit some top nation rated ones like Erebus, Netherworld, Dent Schoolhouse. There's Haunted Hoochie, which is a hilarious one. But the community, Haunted Hoochie, it's in Ohio. Very gorish, man. Very gory. Some pretty messed up scenes.
Yeah.
You know, that for one, it'll show a woman laying in a bed and a guy takes this huge sledgehammer and she's pregnant. Hits her in the belly.
Lord.
And the baby shoots out of her. I'm talking about the baby, blood squirting.
Yeah.
A pregnant. Yeah. Dude,
and it
that's
just does
insane.
it over and over?
Every scene,
Okay.
yeah. So that takes a lot of time and commitment and setup. Each time a walkthrough goes through, you know, they could play that and do that over and over, man. Awesome special effects.
Yeah.
There's also a scene in there. This is Haunted Hoochie. And a guy takes a shotgun to his mouth and blows his brains out.
Goodness.
Yeah. It looks real, dude.
It's not an actor. It's an
actor.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's an
yeah.
actor?
It's an actor that's taking a shotgun and he's screaming and yelling, looks insane, you know, and this guy's troubled, you know, and you don't know what he's going to do. And then thoughts immediately, he's got a gun in his mouth, a shotgun, and it looks so real, dude. You're facing him and he shoots that gun. It makes a loud pop sound, you know, like a gun sound, but not real loud like a gun.
Sure, yeah.
It's loud enough to imitate
make you jolt,
a gun sound. and you could see the blood and the brains shoot out behind his head all over the wall.
Wow.
Looks unreal. So that's got a lot of, some buzz from the community.
Sure,
I've heard they're trying to shut them down multiple times.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
yeah.
But I mean, put a caution.
But as far as local,
which they're all great. We'll put that out there.
all of them's great. All of them's great.
Yeah.
But number 1 was Haunophobia, Blackberry Creek. That was in Kentucky. Number 2 was Fright Nights, which is in Daniels, West Virginia.
Big John.
Big John does it every time. 12 Pole Manor in Wayne, West Virginia. You got Maniac Mountain Haunted House. Now, I didn't put where that was. I think that might be in West Virginia or Virginia. Not 100% sure, but they were my number 4.
What's it called? Maniac
Mountain Haunted House.
Yeah.
They had, that might be it right there in Buchanan.
Buchanan. Beautiful place.
Maniac Mountain.
Let's click on it here, see what we got going on.
They had a haunted Maniac Mountain. They had, it was 3 haunted houses, death metal. That's why they got, all right, so this is it. This is it, because it was death metal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what stood out to me. It was a haunted house. It was the death metal. And just that haunted house itself was enough that scored them the number 4 spot, in my opinion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The other ones was great too. Don't get me wrong. They were all great.
We got Haunted House in Cornfield and Death Metal.
Yep.
Got it.
Fear on the Farm, my buddy Lee Jordan. He does great. Now, last year he got number 5, but there's been years he's got number 1, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He has a Christmas haunted house, dude. Oh my God, it's unbelievable, dude. I mean, he has Krampus, he has all these coffin rides. There's all kinds of stuff he has going on each year. But the Christmas haunt is fabulous, man. Scareview Grave School, that's in St. Albans, outside of Charleston.
I've heard of that one, yeah.
Scareview, that was number 6. Fallsburg Haunted House, that's in Kentucky. They were number 7. Alagany Lunatic Asylum. I rated them number 8. And then Miller's Nightmare got my number 9 spot.
Perfect.
All of them's great, man. I go to them every year just because maybe one falls kind of at the bottom of the list.
I mean, you got to fall somewhere.
Doesn't mean they're like, oh, they're horrible.
Yeah.
It's just they're all good, and you got to rate them. I'm a review person, so
integrity.
Yes, and you know what? I'll go to them every year.
Heck
Every one of these guys I visit all the time. There was one that they closed down, and it was in Withful, and I'd like to mention them all the time, and they were really great. It was a heavy metal haunt. Oh my goodness! And now I can't even.
Haunted Graham?
No, not Haunted Graham. I went to Haunted Graham multiple times. I don't think they weren't open last year. Last year, for some reason, they weren't open.
They got the Haunted Major Graham, the Ghost of Octagon Mansion. We got
Helheim.
Okay, got it. Let's see if we can find that. And they said they weren't open?
Yeah, they closed last year. Helheim Haunted Attraction. Yeah, my buddy Jock and Carter was running running that place, and man, it
got it. Yeah.
Helheim Haunted Attraction. Yeah. Gosh, guys, if you guys are watching this, forgive me because I had to sit there and think about it.
No, it's perfect. That's perfect.
Helheim. Now, I was invited to Helheim to be a guest haunter, an actor. I was a chainsaw guy.
Oh, nice.
And I feel bad because I broke their chainsaw about 3/4 of the way in. I broke their chainsaw. We had 2 chainsaws that night. There was one at the end, and I was one about roughly in the beginning. And three-quarters of the way through the night, I ended up breaking. I pulled the string off of it, and I felt really bad about it.
Oh,
so, I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry, Helheim.
yeah,
Is that why they didn't open?
No,
Okay.
they had a good. I don't know how many years. It was like 4 or 5 years.
Dude, it'd be tough, man. It'd be tough to run.
It was longer than that. It might have been maybe 5 years,
Mhm.
5 or 6 years. They had the landlord decide to pull their contract or whatever out from under them, and he's wanting to sell the place and put it up because it's right off the turnpike, man, right off the interstate there in Withville, and they're building, there's hotels and stuff, new gas stations, restaurants going up.
Mhm.
So he's just looking for money or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had to close down, dude. It was sad for them all, man. I have a lot of good memories there. After parties, they have concerts there. I mean, like I said, I was a guest actor there. Love those guys to death, man. And that place was awesome, dude. This was one. They were in my top 5 every year, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Helheim haunted attraction.
That's awesome.
And Terror Manor is another one. Terror Manor. That's
Where's that
in
at?
Roanoke. Yeah.
Shoot,
Same with those guys. Helheim and Terror Manor. They were both good places. The actors and the owners would get together and, we'd do things together and stuff like that, and I didn't get to visit Terror Manor last year, or they'd be on my list.
Yeah.
I went to them 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I get to same thing. A guest actor.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I got to hang out with them and, do stuff, scare some people.
Yeah.
So I like that. So when you get into this kind of, industry, and fall in the good graces of haunt owners and stuff like that, man. I mean, dude, you'd be surprised the friendships you build.
Oh, I imagine. A lot of good people.
Yeah.
Well, Hoovie, I love it. I appreciate you sharing your experiences.
Yeah.
Really good stories.
Hey, show them. I gave you a hat there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hoovie brought me Spanish Lumberjack hat, official, and it's mine.
Yeah.
And it's staying in the collection. I appreciate this so much.
And I got my merch mentioned on TikTok and Facebook as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Spanish Lumberjack. I got, like I said, right here, I got the hoodie here.
Heck yeah.
I got hoodies, tank tops.
Yeah, I love the logo.
It's
great.
And on the back, you can see it's everything that Spanish.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
you got the waterfall, you got the camping, you got the fishing, the mountain biking.
Shoot,
The
yeah.
only thing it's missing is the Rubicon.
Yeah. Man, I love that Rubicon. I'm telling you. Well, thank you, sir. Everyone out there, be sure to, before you leave, like this video, subscribe to Creepalachia if you haven't. And we are on Facebook and TikTok. And we have opened our recent merch store, creepalachia.shop. We're taking pre-orders. They're going to be shipping soon. And everyone else, always remember, above all else, long live Appalachia.